YouTube family, what's good with you? It's your boy 2A in LA, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes is just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, I should go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. You can join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, fam, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. You are the reason this channel is anything. All right, fam, let's get into this episode. So look, fam, you know, fam, I tried to bring it to you guys. This is another video featuring that Dark Forge Reaper that I recently added into my collection, Comped and Ported Beast. This gun is incredibly flat shooting. This gun is incredibly flat shooting, incredibly fast, great trigger, sub 2 pound, aesthetically beautiful, very, very accurate. Fit and finish is top notch. If you haven't seen the review on this gun, make sure you go back and check it out. This gun scored a 93 out of a possible 100 on the 2A in LA scale. Tied with the Atlas Erebus, and if you haven't seen the video where I compared this one to the Atlas Erebus, make sure you go back and take a look at that, because I said in that video that from a shootability perspective, those guns were neck and neck. Same with fit and finish, and the other characteristics of the two guns. The kind of conclusion that I came up with is that, look, the Erebus is about $750 more than the Reaper is, and there's a 12 to 18 month waiting period. So this gun, $750 cheaper. You can get it within, as of now, within 30 to 90 days. That considered, all things being equal, I would probably lean towards the Reaper a bit more. Now, if I could find a used Erebus that I could get today that was in kind of like new condition, for a little bit sub the MSRP, I would probably go with the Erebus. And so I just think it depends on your flavor. But since this gun was kind of neck and neck with the Erebus, I thought I'd pull out some of my other kind of fine firearms that are in this wheelhouse and have a conversation about those as well. First up, we have that Hayes Customs Cobra, tri-ported and island barreled. This gun is a phenomenal shooter. I have said that Hayes is kind of the Rolls Royce of 2011 manufacturers. Not super flashy or anything like that, just classy. That's how I would say it. And it shoots just that way. Ridiculously smooth, fit and finish. Everything is just phenomenal when it comes to the Hayes Customs Cobra. Couldn't have a talk about the top rated ported and or compensated guns without bringing up Venom Customs. And this is your boy's Venom Customs Tri-Port. Very similar to the quad port. It is a quad port for all intents and purposes, except Don did a special tri-port for me where he had the V's, and instead of the 2 single ports on the top, he had 1 large port. And so, look, you guys know how I feel about Venom Customs. Don makes incredible guns. In my opinion, arguably the best gun maker in the industry right now. I told you guys, when it comes to like the top of the hill, to me, it's a 4-man kind of 4-headed monster with Infinity, Venom, Rafferty, and Hayes. Those four gun makers really have distinguished themselves from other. And every time I revisit these guns, I'm reminded why I feel that way. Alright fam, if you're wondering how these guns did on the 2A NLA rating scale, I can tell you that the Dark Forge Reaper scored a 93 out of a possible 100 Grail gun status. The Hayes Customs Cobra scored a 94 out of a possible 100, also Grail gun status. And my Venom Tri-Port also scored a 94 out of a possible 100 Grail gun status. So look fam, you're talking about three of the highest rated guns ever scored on my channel. So these guns are not for play. These are all Grail guns. There is no poor choice, right? But I was curious when like I said, when I ran the Reaper up against the Erebus, I felt like those guns were very comparable guns. Both scored a 93 on the scale. And if I couldn't really distinguish that much difference between those two, I thought it'd be only fair to run the Reaper up against the Venom Customs as well as the Hayes. And so I'm not going to I'm not going to draw this out more than I need to or leave you in suspense. I had a similar experience when I reviewed the Phoenix Trinity Honcho V2, the new version that they have with Covert, right? I shot that gun. I said then and I say now, that's the funnest gun ever. That's the funnest gun that I've ever shot. Just lightweight, zero recoil impulse, just the most fun you can have with 9mm. But you know, it's not, the fit and finish isn't on the level of these guns. Accuracy isn't on the level of these guns. It is just a blast to shoot, right? So when I put it up against the Erebus, I said then, look, Erebus, far better fit and finish, far better accuracy, a better gun in every sense of the word, except it's not as fun. It's not as fun. The other gun, the Honcho V2, is just a blast to shoot, right? And so I got a little beside myself and I took out the I took out the Honcho V2 after I shot against the Erebus. I took it out and I shot it against the Rafferty Lucky Devil. And fam, I had to apologize to Pat. I was like, Pat, my bad. My bad. It's a different level. There's levels to this. And the Rafferty Lucky Devil is on a whole different level, right? So, but I mean, that gun, the Honcho V2, scored in like the mid to upper 80s, where the Lucky Devil was scored like a 96, like way up in Grail gun territory. At that time, it might have been the highest scoring gun in the history of the channel. So it's understandable, right? I felt like these three guns would be a better comparison. All three Grail guns, 193, 294s, all scored right next to each other, right? So I was like, okay, let's see how the Reaper compares to the Hayes and to the Venom. And what I would just say is, my bad. My bad, Don. My bad, Ben. My bad. The Reaper is incredible. The Reaper is incredible. It is awesome, fam. But look, accuracy was good, feel was good, all of that. But when I shot the Hayes, I was like, oh my. Oh my. When I just handled the Hayes, the feel of it was just oh, I don't know. I don't know what they do. It's hard to verbalize, honestly. Now, I can tell you the fit and finish is phenomenal. The fit and finish on the Reaper is phenomenal. Hayes is just better. It's just better. The fit and finish and feel is just better. The accuracy is just better. The shootability is just better. It is just better, right? And then so I said, okay, well, the Hayes is edging out the Reaper. How does it compare to the Venom? And this is when, I'm not gonna lie, fam, I was out at the range where I had 0 reception, right? If I hadn't, I would have probably called Don from Venom on the spot to tell him he was the man, because I was putting shots in the same hole. The same hole. And again, you handle a Venom gun and it just feels, oh my, it just feels different. The weight of it, the balance of it, the shootability of it, it just feels different. Now, here's what I will say about this. Both the Venom and the Hayes are more expensive than the Reaper. And similar to the Erebus, they have very long wait times. And so, do you want to pay? And depending on which Venom and which Hayes you get, could be, let's call it somewhere between $750 to $2,000 more, depending on the gun, right? So do you want to pay $700 to $2,000 more for a Venom or a Hayes and wait 18 to 24 months to do it? I would. I would, fam. I cannot tell a lie. I would. That's, like I said, fam, the line in the sand for me is Infinity, Rafferty, Hayes, and Venom. They're just different. They're in a different class all of their own. The Reaper is a phenomenal gun, and it's readily available. And if you buy it, you will not regret it at all. It's amazing. But if they told me, you know, if I could only buy one gun and I was only going to have one super high-end 2011, and you gave me the choice between the Reaper, even at a less expensive price point, or the Venom and the Hayes, yeah, I'm going with the Venom and the Hayes. I got to be honest. And when it gets down to these two, oh my, that's a stupid decision. But I'm probably leaning Venom. I just think, I don't know, fam. Aesthetically, shootability, I feel like Don's quad port system is doing a little bit more work than the tri-port island barrel does with it. I don't know. Both of them are phenomenal. Both of them scored 94. At this point, we really are talking about marginal differences, but I just love Venom guns. I love the way they look. I love the way they shoot. I think Don is a master craftsman, and he can give you a look like this, and he can give you different looks. Don and I are working on a couple of things, have a couple of things in the works, so stay tuned for that. But I told Don, look, you got me. You got me. You got me. I want a new Venom a year. And so we've been talking about doing a lot of things, but stay tuned to that. But I just want to say again, between these three guns, yes, the Reaper is a phenomenal gun. It is readily available. You will not be disappointed. Is it a Venom or a Hayes? No, it is not. But it's okay. I think that's okay. You know, like Venom and Hayes are more expensive and have longer wait times. They're more custom gun shops. Dark Forge has more capacity. They have the ability to ramp up and put out more product. So you can get one of these guns in your hands. You don't have to be a YouTuber. You don't have to be an influencer. You don't have to be an industry guy. You can buy it. Order it from Covert. It will be here in a reasonable amount of time. And so, yeah. Dark Forge Reaper, outstanding. Venom and Hayes, top of the line. All right, fam. That's it for this episode. Until next time, as always, take care of one another and peace.